Well, the fight is not over in Tripoli, but the carve-up of Libya's vast oil riches, the biggest in Africa, is already beginning. The Italian foreign minister fired the starting gun, saying Italy's Eni oil company will play the #1 role in the region. As RT's Laura Emmett reports, the service won't come cheap for the Libyan people.
Delivered as a promise, but seen by many as more of a threat. David Cameron says NATO will stay while Libya makes the transition to democracy. As allied forces lend air support to the rebels to take Tripoli, the Stop the War coalition warns Libyans not to expect they're getting something for nothing.
The Western powers don't do this without asking for a payback. Why is it that the head of the TNC is running off to Paris to meet with the French president? Well, of course, that is one very, very important issue. It was why the Western powers, Tony Blair and others, struck a deal with Gaddafi in the first place. It will be exactly what they're seeking to continue with the TNC, to further exploit those oil riches.
The British government makes no secret of the fact that its motives in supporting the rebels aren't entirely altruistic. Last year alone, the UK exported around $40 billion of goods and services to North Africa and the Middle East. But it's black gold that's the key. Libya has the largest oil reserves in Africa.
When Western powers look at the region, they talk about humanitarianism or democracy, but they think about oil.
Greg Muttitt says it's impossible not to draw a comparison with Iraq. He's written a book about the aftermath of the Iraq invasion, in which he maintains Western powers imposed a democracy which played on sectarian divisions. That ensured years of tribal struggle, but also meant the Allies retained control of the oil supply. While the UK government insists lessons have been learnt from Iraq, Western oil firms move into Libya. Even before the fate of Tripoli is sealed, the great oil grab is already beginning. BP has a contentious oil and gas exploration contract in Libya, which the UK government will be anxious for it to resume. Italian oil giant Eni is the first to send staff back to Libya, and its shares rose on the news. French Total and Austria's OMV also did well, as investors hoped they'd soon be able to resume production in Libya. But at what price to the Libyan people?
The great fear is that, just as they did in Iraq, they'll create a democracy which serves British interests, or the West's interests, or oil companies' interests, and does nothing for the people of Libya.
Laura Emmett, RT, London.